Hello, lovely people. Hope you're well. Happy Monday. Happy start to the week. Hope you're well. My name is Callum, and this is Team Kop-Ish daily news show for the summer. Obviously, the season has started, but it is the summer. The window is still open, so we're going to be covering this until the window officially shuts. So you've still got a couple more weeks of the summer daily news show. First and foremost, hope you're well. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. Liverpool won. Doesn't get much better than that. Spent some good time with the friends and family as well. All is looking up. All is looking up. And I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend too. Please do smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave your comments about some of the stuff we're going to discuss in the show today. And there's no better place to start. Let's be honest. A couple of weeks ago, reports came out that Henderson and the club were at odds about a contract. Some even suggested Henderson could leave this summer. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Apparently, Jordan Henderson is set to sign a 3-year deal on a pay rise with an option for a 4th year. Jurgen Klopp was asked about it recently in a press conference, and he said it'll be sorted out in no time. And if Klopp says something's going to happen, usually it happens. Seems as though it's been sorted out in no time. Fantastic news for the club. Fantastic news for the player. Fantastic news for the city, in my opinion. Jordan Henderson is a rock. He's a staple of what we do at Liverpool Football Club. He epitomizes what we are as a club, the ethos and everything. I've got nothing but admiration for Henderson. Been at the club for over 10 years. Loyal servant, captain, leader, on and off the pitch. Not just for Liverpool either, on and off the pitch. A stand-up guy. And I'm hoping, along with this contract, Henderson starts to get the recognition worldwide that he deserves. An excellent professional, excellent football player, and an excellent captain. And I pray that this deal gets wrapped up ASAP and we can go into the season without this being hung over our head. Jordan Henderson, please stay at Liverpool. It looks as though you're going to sign a contract. Thank you very much. And what was all the worry about? Everyone was coming on saying, oh, he might leave. I'll be honest, I'm no oracle. I've got no crystal ball. But this was the contract that I was least worried about. Henderson wasn't going anywhere, in my opinion. And it was just a case of sorting things out. I think stuff got leaked that shouldn't have been leaked and then got blown way out of proportion. Henderson was going nowhere. And I'm so happy. He looks as though he's going to secure his future at Liverpool. And, in my opinion, get what he deserves in terms of a pay rise and that option for a 4th year as well on the term of the contract. Excellent news. Great way to start the week. Now, someone else signed a new contract apparently, but he's not a Liverpool player, is Harvey Barnes. Now, in the last couple of weeks, we've been linked quite heavily with Harvey Barnes. However, it looks as though he's going to pen a new deal with Leicester City. Now, before I go any further, is Harvey Barnes a player I'd love at Liverpool? I wouldn't say love. I'd be very happy if we signed him. Wouldn't be my first choice player, but I do think he can go up a level, and under Klopp, I think he would go up under a level. But I also think he can do that with Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers is an excellent coach. And I think if one thing Brendan Rodgers can do is coach young players to become better versions of themselves, both on and off the football pitch. And I think he'll do that with Harvey Barnes. I'm not upset about this. I get that some fans wanted him. No issues with those fans. Again, I think he's a top footballer. Again, I think he comes under that bracket of being underrated because he's not fashionable. He has good goal output, good assist output. And I think if you were to put him in a system like ours, I think he'd thrive. However, I think he's doing the best thing for his career right now, and that is staying at Leicester. He's one of the first names on their team sheet when he's fit, playing on that left-hand side of a 3. And I think it makes sense. And look, best of luck to him. Again, I do think we do need a wide forward going into the season, or another wide forward going into the season, especially if Jota is going to be playing down the middle a lot more. But if it's not going to be Harvey Barnes, we should be able to find another player in world football who can cover that void. So again, best of luck to Harvey Barnes. Not necessarily a player I'd want this summer, but look, top quality player. And if it comes to fruition that he comes to Liverpool in the future, I won't be upset about it. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Is Harvey Barnes the player that you wanted? If so, are you disappointed that he signed a new contract at Leicester? Do you think this completely shuts the door on Klopp's admiration for him and Liverpool wanting the player potentially? Let me know in the comments below, people. On to the next topic. Ben Davies, aka the hologram, was featured in pre-season. However, it seems as though he's going to be heading out on loan with no option to buy to Sheffield United. A bit of a weird one, this one for me. I mean, we're lacking in homegrown players. And again, this is why it's weird. I'll explain. Because if we are going to sell Nat Phillips, who I'm going to speak about shortly, then it's starting to put us really on the verge of being low for homegrown players. Now, we'll still fill the quota, but it would be a weird one. I thought it would have been one of him or Phillips going at least until January. Plus, if he were to go, I don't see why it wouldn't be a permanent transfer. Being a loan deal with a potential buyout doesn't really, like, there's no obligation. So Sheffield United can keep for the season, and that would be it. Now, there is a loan fee and there is a promotion bonus as well, should Sheffield United come up from the Championship and rebound and come back into the Premier League. However, I would have preferred it to be a sale or a loan to buy. Wasn't meant to be. Look, Ben Davies was brought in, and I think it's one of the mysteries of Liverpool Football Club over the last couple of years, why we decided to go this route, why we decided to get Ben Davies in, especially when you consider what was happening at the time. And again, not to sound arrogant, not to sound rude, but there were a lot of sections of fans who were comparing this deal to the Robertson deal and saying, oh, he just needs to be integrated. Look, if you can't be integrated when you have no centre-backs and Reece Williams is still getting ahead of you, it means Klopp doesn't rate you. So for all the Liverpool fans that went off at other Liverpool fans who said this is a bad deal, I think it's kind of been vindicated. Now, I know some will say, look, we only paid like 1.5 mil. We could potentially get 5 mil for him. That's all well and good, but was it even a necessary buy in the first place? In my opinion, no. And it brought more controversy than needed to. And it wasn't the right move for me. But look, if Ben Davies does go, and by the way, this is nothing to do with Ben Davies. This isn't on the player himself. But if he is to go, I wish him nothing but the best of luck. Wish him nothing but the best of luck for the rest of his career. And I hope he goes on and accomplishes some great things in the rest of his career. But it just wasn't meant to be at Liverpool Football Club. And I think it's one of those ones that will be in a pub quiz in a few years' time. Another player who looks to be heading to the Championship is this man, Mr. Leighton Clarkson. He's really impressed, apparently, behind the scenes and in training. Shout out to one of our regular viewers, Demo Dre, who, like me, watches quite a lot of under-23s football and will know that Leighton Clarkson is a very, very good talent. However, he does need game time. And if we saw anything last season, is that a young player like Harvey Elliott getting game time can really unleash a different aspect to them as a person, as a professional as well. And it looks as though Leighton Clarkson will be heading to Blackburn on loan for the season. Now, apparently he's actually a Blackburn fan growing up, so this is extra special for him maybe. But it's brilliant for Liverpool, and it shows the trust that we as a club have in Blackburn, especially after seeing how Harvey Elliott was treated there. I think Clarkson will get a good amount of game time. Obviously, they've just lost Adam Armstrong and Elliott as well from last season. Elliott, I think, was their top assist maker. Armstrong was their top goal scorer. So they do need a few voids filled at Blackburn. I think Leighton Clarkson will give them control in midfield, some creativity as well. And I think he's a player who can pop up with a goal now and again. So I'm happy Leighton Clarkson's getting this move. I think it'll be really good for his progression. And I think it'll be important to see how he develops there, to see whether he has a future at Liverpool in the immediate future or maybe later on down the line and maybe a few more loan moves. So I'm interested to see how it goes. Love to know your guys' thoughts on it in the comments below. So please do that now. Our next topic, Mr. Naldini Phillipsinho, as I like to call him. So Nat Phillips. Apparently, there have been no serious or suitable offers on the table for him. Now, Nat Phillips barely was seen in pre-season, most notably left out of the squad for the last 2 pre-season matches at Anfield as well. And many people see him leaving the club. I think he still will leave the club. Selfishly, I want him to stay until January, just to cover the likes of Virgil, Matip and Gomez, who just come back off the back of long-term injuries. I think he's proved himself to sort of show the fan base that were he to be put in next to, say, a Konate or a Gomez or a Matip or a Van Dijk every couple of games, that we'd be comfortable with that, even though we know he's not the best centre-back in world football. But I think he's going to go. A lot of the talk is Southampton or Brighton. Southampton to replace Vestergaard, Brighton to replace Ben White. For me personally, in a weird way, the longer that this drags out, the better, because even though we may want to reinvest the money, technically, if this goes to a deadline day or it becomes a bidding war, Liverpool ultimately get more money out of the deal. Now, again, I'm not going to contradict myself and say I want us to sell him, but if the club are going to sell him, then we need to maximize on how much we get for him, in my opinion. So it could be interesting to see how it goes. But up to me, I'd keep him, and I'm glad that no offers have come in yet, because selfishly, I want him to stay at the club. And our final topic is this man, Mr. Divock Origi. Apparently, he is wanted by 3 Premier League clubs: West Ham United, Crystal Palace, and the other one, if I'm not mistaken, is Wolverhampton Wanderers. Got it in the end, guys. Got it in the end. Those are the 3 clubs that seem to want him. Now, if you actually look at those clubs, Crystal Palace, it looks as though need an out-and-out striker. And with Vieira just going there as well, it might be something that interests Origi. Wolverhampton Wanderers, again, more of a rotational potentially, because Raul Jimenez is back from his long-term injury now. So that would be interesting to see if you'd be interested in that prospect. And then West Ham, Mikel Antonio, no Lingard there anymore. Obviously, they sold, what's the guy? Sebastian Haller last season as well. Maybe that's a place he could go, be playing European football as well. Maybe. I mean, the talk is that Origi has been rejecting deals and offers because he wants the right move for him, which I think he's more than entitled to do. We can't slate players for sort of honouring their contract and picking where they want to go next, and then on the same breath slate players when they want to break their contract and move to a club that is in their interest as well. Or for clubs who break contracts or want to sell players against their wishes, etc. We have to keep the same energy. What I will say is, though, we do have to move Origi and Shaqiri on. I think even more so Origi, because it's not working here. And there has to also be a bit of self-awareness from Origi. And a shout out to Chris Brack from LFC Day Trippers, and shout out to the Day Trippers lot. Speaking to Chris Brack about this and just saying, look, well, no, it was Chris who actually said, look, I get where you're coming from in terms of he doesn't have to leave, but for his own personal development and his self-awareness, he should be looking to leave. And I agree. But at the same time, Origi should get the right move for him as well. Out of the 3 clubs, you could argue all of them have a good case. Palace, he'll be a guaranteed starter, in my opinion. West Ham, he'll be playing European football. And Wolves, he'll be playing in a brand new team with potentially the most creativity around him. In terms of Adama Traore, he could even play in a 2 with Raul Jimenez as well, which I think would suit Origi really well. Selfishly, again, you know where I'm going with this, guys. I'd sell him to Wolves and try and get Neto in some sort of a deal where we pay extra for Neto. Will it happen? I don't know. I doubt it. But look, a guy can dream, right? But as I said, I think it's imperative that Origi moves on this summer. I think it's imperative that he does that for the rest of his career. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens next. But people, as I said, it was a short one, this one. Please do smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave your comments about some of the talking topics. We are going to be back later this evening with our normal Monday night live show. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll be going live around 7 p.m, chopping up some of these topics and some of the news that breaks throughout the day. So thank you very much. First one of the week. And until next time, people, stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish and we're out. Take care.